Lauren Sanchez wasn't the first woman to turn a billionaire romance into influence. But she did it openly and with striking precision, shaking long-established dynamics among tech elites. Unlike others, her moves were visible and calculated, reshaping public perception of such relationships. Her true mistake wasn't manipulation, but overlooking the unwritten, quietly learned rules that govern America's upper circles. Rules absorbed through observation, elite networks, and private advice. By ignoring them, she disrupted a system built on subtlety and discretion, challenging the hidden flow of inherited power. A woman beside a billionaire might be admired at galas or trusted in private, subtly guiding him with insight. Yet the unwritten rule has always been clear: she should never claim independent public influence. Lauren Sanchez broke this rule deliberately, seeing the old codes as outdated. She built her own sphere, using Bezos' resources to step out of his shadow. Launching ventures, supporting causes, and expressing her views, she asserted herself as more than a companion, challenging a system that allows women at a powerful man's side, but rarely as autonomous figures in their own right. Those familiar with elite power circles saw Lauren Sanchez's rise as predictable, though the broader public remained unaware. At first, her presence was tolerated with polite skepticism. The $5 million wedding and magazine covers fit within social expectations, raising eyebrows but not alarms. Yet insiders soon realized she wasn't just enhancing her partner's image, she was quietly building her own independent empire. With separate funding, influential connections across Hollywood and Washington, and a dedicated team working solely for her, Lauren asserted autonomy, quietly reshaping media narratives and political influence beyond Bezos' shadow.
Lauren Sanchez didn't just use her relationship with Jeff Bezos as a symbol of status. She leveraged it to build an independent power network beyond his control. This move shook not only tech circles, but the broader American corporate world. The scandal's timing and coordination raised questions about the official story. Suddenly, former Black Ops aviation employees came forward with detailed complaints, anonymous tips from unrelated sectors appeared, and multiple federal agencies launched investigations in near-perfect sync. The precision and overlap suggest a carefully orchestrated sequence rather than isolated coincidental events.
The involvement of the FBI, SEC, and DOJ raised eyebrows, giving their usual slow, bureaucratic pace. Yet in Lauren Sanchez's case, federal agencies acted with uncanny speed and precision, suggesting more than routine enforcement. It appeared as a coordinated effort to neutralize a disruptive figure, benefiting powerful elites threatened by her rise. Amazon isn't just a company. It's a sprawling ecosystem, and Jeff Bezos is more than a billionaire. He's a central figure in a vast web of economic, political, and social influence, with reach from Silicon Valley to Congress. Jeff Bezos sits at the center of a vast web of economic, political, and social power, stretching from Silicon Valley to Washington, Wall Street to Hollywood, and beyond. Thousands rely on the stability of his decisions, with billions in investments tied to his control. Enter Lauren Sanchez, who, through her personal relationship, began to influence this network, not quietly, but by building her own independent sphere of power using the resources around her. Her rise threatened the carefully balanced system, unsettling elites who depended on predictable control and years of cultivated influence. Joe Rogan's critique of the $5 million wedding wasn't casual commentary. It was a calculated move to shape media and public opinion. Soon after, outlets that once celebrated Lauren Sanchez as a muse and a visionary partner flipped the narrative, portraying her as manipulative and opportunistic. Traits previously praised Intelligence, ambition, elegance were reframed as cunning and calculated. Journalists who once admired her now questioned her rise, painting it as strategic exploitation. The rapid, synchronized media shift revealed a coordinated campaign designed to turn admiration into suspicion almost overnight. The most striking aspect of Lauren Sanchez's saga was how silence was weaponized against her. In a hyper-connected world, failing to respond quickly isn't seen as restraint, it's read as weakness or guilt. Her lack of immediate reply to Joe Rogan's criticism was seized by media and public alike, reinforcing accusations and accelerating the collapse of her image. Yet her silence may have been strategic, guided by lawyers and PR advisors, aware that even a measured defense could be twisted as obstruction or jury influence, making quiet caution a legal necessity rather than indecision. In law, silence can't imply guilt, but in media and public opinion, it often does. Lauren Sanchez's quiet approach wasn't surrender, but strategic, guided by her legal team, aware that any statement could be weaponized against her. Even more striking was how swiftly her social and professional circle abandoned her. Praised as a trailblazer one day, many distanced themselves overnight, some openly condemning her, others pretending to never know her. The rapid shift highlighted just how fragile and transactional loyalty is at the top tiers of power. Hollywood producers who once vied for Lauren Sanchez's services quickly reversed course, citing alleged complaints about professionalism, costs, and quality. Socialites who previously welcomed her into elite circles fed the press stories of odd behavior and unreasonable demands. Charitable organizations that had showcased her donations erased her presence from materials almost overnight. This wasn't moral outrage, it was fear. Once marked as a threat, Lauren's former allies instinctively distanced themselves, revealing how quickly association can become a liability in elite networks. In elite circles, reputation is everything, and defending someone labeled as toxic risks one's own standing. Amid this, Jeff Bezos remained strikingly silent, distancing himself from Lauren Sanchez without comment, raising questions about his motives. One view sees him blindsided, betrayed by someone he trusted, his silence reflecting shock and emotional pain. A more cynical perspective suggests he knew of her actions, possibly even condoning them as long as they didn't threaten his power, image, or control, highlighting the complex dynamics behind the scandal. A darker theory suggests Bezos may have actively orchestrated Lauren Sanchez's downfall, seeing her growing independence and access to sensitive information as a threat to his empire. Her rapid erasure from Amazon and Blue Origin, names removed from documents, websites, and marketing, fits the pattern of a calculated, multi-stage crisis management plan. This wasn't chaos or reaction, it was precise, professional execution, portraying Bezos as a strategist willing to sacrifice even close relationships to protect his power, reputation, and corporate interests. Lauren's real crime wasn't theft or law-breaking. It was publicly showing that an ambitious, strategic woman could gain independent influence through intimacy with a powerful figure. By challenging centuries-old, unwritten rules of elite power, she exposed vulnerabilities in a system built to control influence. Her rise threatened traditional hierarchies, prompting a swift, coordinated response designed not only to neutralize her, but to warn others. Attempts to disrupt the established order would be met with ruthless precision, reinforcing the grip of long-standing power structures.
Lauren Sanchez's story reveals the hidden limits on female influence in elite power structures. While women can succeed as CEOs, politicians, or judges, using intimacy, femininity, or emotional leverage to challenge entrenched hierarchies provokes swift coordinated backlash. Her 16-year federal sentence went beyond legal judgment, serving as a cultural warning about the risks ambitious women face when confronting male-dominated systems. Over time, her story may be seen less as a cautionary tale and more as an illustration of how powerful institutions ruthlessly protect themselves from threats, highlighting the struggles faced by anyone daring to challenge entrenched authority.